What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. Season 3, Episode 6, Hit the Books, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of sports and sports gambling. Each episode, we break down all the NFL matchups and trends for the week, provide analysis, and offer up our best bets and betting advice. It's time for Week 5. 14 games this week in the NFL that we will review on this week's episode. Some college football games to review as well, the fast-approaching NHL and NBA seasons to touch on, and a recap on our thoughts on the MLB playoffs. All this and more coming up soon. Do not forget about our live stream each and every Sunday morning, ready to showcase the top 5 games of the week. Give our winning bets on those live Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, Facebook, and more. So let's jump into this week's episode and introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Ace, let's start off with you this week. We're coming off Dallas. It's a pretty solid weekend. Your Patriots not able to get it done, but we'll jump into that. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of hometown beatings going down. Of course, we had to witness mine taking place. Terrible news following that game as well, with some of our superstars getting injured. You hate to see it. But other than that, I mean, I was hyped about the golf trip. The Yinzers were not ready for the show that Mackie and I put on, and continuous lead throughout the day just ended in a W. Multiple items being put on the table and never being won from the Pittsburgh side. So you just love to see it. Shout out to the clubs and the course and whatnot. But great time with the boys in person, and ready to break down this week's slate of sports.
Good stuff there, Ace. All right, Mackie, let's send it over to you next. What do you got for us? Your Cowboys were able to get it done, but you're back in New York now. What do you got?
Yeah, awesome weekend in Dallas. Cowboys made it worth it. They spanked those Patriots. I was in Ace's face all day, but I went 2-0 this weekend with the golf and the Cowboys. So pretty successful weekend, and I think we all had a pretty good time. So first annual Hit the Books trip is in the books, and we're getting ready for the next one.
We absolutely are getting ready for the next one. Huff, finish it off for us here. Week 5, we're here. What do you got?
Not much going on with me. Like I said, had a good time down in Dallas. Jerry's World was a good time. Hell of a fucking stadium. I definitely didn't know what to expect walking into there. That place is massive. Doesn't even compare to some of the stadiums that I've been to, at least up here in the Northeast with the Steelers, excuse me, the Bills and the Packers. But that place is crazy. Obviously, like they said, we had a good round of golf. Mackie and Ace took a 2-hole lead at the end to do it to clinch the round 18. So that was a good match. Had a good time there, but. Other than that, not much else. Didn't have too good of a week in the NFL card. Saved myself with Pacheco on the first touchdown Sunday night. But other than that, my card's been brutal. It's a long season, so hoping to get back to it.
Honestly, very tough week for us on the cards in the NFL. But
I think this week we were a little occupied, just like being in Dallas together, and it wasn't our best.
You could tell because then I went 2-0 on Monday Night Football when I had time to actually lock in.
It definitely wasn't our best, our most detailed and well thought plays, but
my week was ruined by the Swifty fucking magic. I tried to buy into the hype and I fell flat on my face, and that was a huge swing. Would have ended positive if that guy could have found the end zone, but I got to fall away from that hype just like the NFL needs to.
Alrighty, boys, let's jump into this week's episode here. Let's see what we got first up. We got some things to keep in mind. The NHL regular season right around the corner, just 6 days away, as we're right in the MLB playoffs. We know the NHL is coming up. NBA regular season just 20 days away, quickly approaching on that one. And something to keep an eye out for is the Super Bowl's 130 days away. So it is approaching, as we are now through 4 weeks before you even know it. It's been a quick season. But let's jump into what we got in the NFL this week. First point here, the Denver Broncos and linebacker Randy Gregory are parting ways. The Broncos stated the team wanted to focus around younger players, making Gregory a free agent after signing a 5-year, $70 million deal in 2022 with the Broncos. What are we thinking about this one coming out of Denver?
Wait, when did he sign that deal?
Last summer. This was his second year on that deal, on that crazy deal with Denver. He was a part of that offseason that they had last season when they brought in Russ and they needed to beef up the defense, so they brought in him. I don't know. It just hasn't really been a fit for him in Denver since he got there. I don't think he played too many games in the blue and orange, so I don't know if Denver's going to be hurting too much without him. It's obviously a big name, but you get a big paycheck off the salary cap. I think they'd like to address that in other places, but I don't like the comment where you want to focus around younger players. It's like, dude, just if you're going to cut the guy, just cut the guy. You don't have to make an excuse for it. Like, if it didn't work out, you don't have to make an excuse for it. Like, happens all the time. It just didn't work.
No, I mean, honestly, I feel like they might not be too far from the truth there. They're really looking to cut ties with these veterans and develop the guys that they're going to have under contract for cheap, get away from that big contract. It's surprising to me, though. Like, I know you want to build around the Broncos' young core now that they're kind of shit and they didn't meet expectations. But Randy Gregory's looked like a good player, in my opinion. I think he'll be a worthwhile pickup wherever he lands. A solid edge rusher, especially if you can rotate him in as your 2 or 3. Someone like the Browns with an already electric defense. Imagine they added a name like that into the mix. But, I mean, they're a dime a dozen nowadays finding those edge rushers. It seems like more and more are budding every year. So I'm not too surprised in the direction that the Broncos went, but I'm excited to see where Gregory ends up.
I think he'll be the first, obviously, easy to say, the first fill-in guy when someone gets hurt, but I don't think we see him play for a team for the next couple of weeks.
You don't think so? I mean, they don't have to sign him at that contract, right?
No, I mean, they can sign him. He's now a free agent. They can sign him to a 1-year deal for $800,000 if he wants to sign it. You know what I mean?
I bet you he signs sooner rather than later. I wouldn't put it past 2 weeks. You might even hear it next time we're on the pod where he ends up. I think that he can be added in on some teams' depth on the defensive side of the ball, someone who's right there in the mix of it. Imagine him in Miami with Bradley Chubb on the other side. I mean, something like that. Anywhere he'd be a good fit, in my opinion.
Yeah. I could see the Eagles sign him. They just add him to their fucking defensive line. I just feel like they sign him.
They lost, what's his name? Was it Hargreaves that they lost to San Francisco? Got to replace him somehow, but Mackey's former Cowboy, Randy Gregory, I believe. I feel like he'll find a new home soon enough.
I haven't heard a lot about him since he did leave Dallas, but I just remember him always being a problem off the field. He was never really on the field either, so I don't know if maybe that came into play. I don't know, but if
he is a bad locker room guy and an 0-3 or a 1-3 team does not mix well together.
He just looks like he doesn't give a shit, and that's kind of how his mentality was in Dallas from what I remember. But I haven't heard about him in the past few years, so I couldn't really tell you much about him.
Like I said, I don't think he's played too many games for Denver.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's really been on the field. I can't back that.
There's no reason to really get on the field for that team, though, in my opinion. And even if you're a little banged up, you're not going out of your way to play.
They gave him 70 million reasons to get his ass on the field.
Yeah, they gave him 70 million.
Yeah, I mean, they're a terrible squad, though. Tough scene.
Yeah, very interesting situation there coming out of Denver. We'll have more on that as we find it out. Next one, the Patriots have officially been hit with the injury bug as they lose 2 of their top defenders including Matt Judon and Christian Gonzalez with likely season-ending injuries. Can this Patriots defense still be good enough without their top 2 guys, even with the addition of J.C. Jackson? Ace, what are you thinking about this one here? The injury bug flying around the league, teams getting hit all over the place. It's that time of the year.
Pretty loaded question there, but Christian Gonzalez going down, that's on the heels of a lot of other corners in New England. Jonathan Jones, former Pro Bowl safety, matches up with Tyreek Hill. Well, he's out. Jack Jones, 2 guns. He's been out all year on the IR. Marcus Jones placed on the IR against the Jets. And now Christian Gonzalez going down. I mean, it's only fitting that they brought in J.C. Jackson. And to bring in a former Pro Bowler, why not take a flyer on him for conditional 6th and 7th round flip?
Yeah, it's a 6th round pick. Like,
no, it's not even a 6th. It's just flipping your picks in those drafts because the Chargers are going to be higher. So we don't even lose any picks. We're just going down in the 6th and 7th round.
Who cares?
I think J.C. Jackson could definitely revitalize his career in this system that made him once one of the top corners in the league. I hate to see that for Christian Gonzalez, though. He's putting together an offensive rookie or defensive rookie of the year campaign, in my opinion. He was leading the odds,
just
but
talking about that.
You hate to see that. Matthew Judon, he'll be back in a couple months. Tough injuries, though. That trip to Dallas really did a number on him, but I think this defense will be good with whoever they put on the field. We know Belichick can build up any defense. The problem is the offense there, and we'll get to that obviously when we recap and preview and whatnot. But I think defense will still be elite without them, in my opinion. A lot of big draft picks spent on defensive players in the last few years.
Definitely in trouble though. You got to think. I mean, you're missing your main face in that defense, and obviously that rookie has been
Christian Gonzalez has been lights out. Yeah, did Matthew Judon? Matthew Judon, not so, even though he's a top end guy, like I said, those outside linebackers, edge rushers, dime a dozen. Josh Uche putting up double-digit sacks last year. They drafted Keon White. They have Dietrich Weiss, and you can Marte Mapu. A lot of these young guys can really slot into that role, but the outside guys like Christian Gonzalez and Jonathan Jones who can lock down true wide receiver ones. Without him, Gonna need JC to make that big jump back to what he once was.
Well, you're gonna have to see. He's gonna have his
Big
hands full
ask.
Sunday with Chris Olave.
Yeah, but like I still think the pass rusher is gonna be getting after that Saints team. Although I know they have a good O-line, but they haven't looked so special to start. And this is just what the Patriots needed, a lesser opponent. Think about who they've went through so far. The Eagles,
you gotta worry.
the Dolphins.
You got to worry about Mac Jones now, though. I mean, after playing that Dallas defense, horrible
But
game.
here-
He's
here-
going to play
here's the-
another tough defense.
Here's the thing, though. You expect him to be lights out all year. I knew he was gonna have a few stinkers in there. You just kind of put it behind you. He's the guy all year, in my opinion. I don't think they're gonna turn the page to anybody else because we know those guys are just lesser. I think
don't
you
mean
just
by-
ride it out.
I don't mean turn the page. I just mean like you got to worry about him being your franchise quarterback if he's not getting the job done. I mean,
He's not the franchise quarterback. He's off his contract after this year, so he's really just auditioning for a new contract. So far, not so good, but he's going to get a lot more chances to produce, and I think he can have a solid week this week. I think these two teams are pretty similar, just in very different situations.
Good stuff there, boys. Here, another point about an injury. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor, who was on the PUP list due to an ankle injury, practiced today in Indianapolis and is back healthy. Is Taylor going to help this young Colts offense take it to the next step? Already playing some pretty all right football. A fun team to watch so far this year. What do you guys think? Is he going to be a good addition, or is he going to possibly ruin that little mojo they've got going on?
Yeah, I'm excited for this Titans Colts game that we get this week. Obviously, divisional matchup, AFC South. The Titans have been a pesky team. The Colts are kind of doing a little better than most people expected, I would think, to this point. Anthony Richardson's been dominant when he's played, even though Minshew picked up the one win in Baltimore. So I'm really excited to see the duo of Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor out there. I've been on this Colts team the past couple of weeks. They burnt me last week against that Rams team. They were down and teased me with the comeback, and then just couldn't get the job done at the end. But I'm really excited to see this dual rushing attack of Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson.
Huff, you're so high on Anthony Richardson. I am too. How fun is he to watch? Guys just played great football. I liked what Zach Moss was doing on this Colts team. That's why I'm kind of interested to see how they use him. Maybe you could sell high and shop him, but maybe they shop Jonathan Taylor instead. I know all those rumors are still swirling around, but I'll have to see if he actually suits up for them and how he does. I don't think he's going to be with the Indianapolis Colts too much longer, Mackie. I don't see that happening. What do you think?
Who, JT?
Yeah.
I don't really know about that. Obviously, well, I don't really think he'll be there much longer either because of the things that went on with him and Jim Irsay. But I'm really excited to see him get back into this offense, especially with how offensive heavily they are now with Anthony Richardson. You got two running options now. Bringing Jonathan Taylor back in, people kind of forget about who he was before that ACL injury. I mean, he's definitely up there and one of the best running backs in the league, and he's just going to add to this offense. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's a good point. I wasn't thinking about it. Jonathan Taylor obviously once was electrifying. I was never too high on him, but maybe his usage was just too high the last 2 years. Even in college, he got a lot of carries. I think he might have led the NCAA in them, honestly. But he's an elite runner, and if you can get a guy like Zach Moss to take those big hits off him and lighten up the defense, because we know Zach Moss is a bruiser, maybe that Jonathan Taylor 5 weeks off, he might be coming back hot. So it'll be interesting to see it. Always happy when a superstar can get back on the field.
Yeah, I think Steichen's obviously using his guys right, and I'm excited to see him be able to have the skill players out there with. I mean, I'm not saying Pittman's the greatest receiver. I think he's a nice option to have for a young team. He's definitely not a one, but Pittman, Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, getting their likes back of that good defense that they have. I like what's going on in Indianapolis, especially the guys, the head coach.
I think Pittman's a little underrated, to be honest.
I think he is too, Mackie. I don't know. Every time I say that, I get like chirps.
Because-
That's why I always like passively defend myself before I even finish my take.
No,
because I
well-
usually get ripped for that. I think he's decent.
Dude, he's not, because he's not obviously like the best. He's not one of the best number ones in the league, but he is a number one receiver by all means.
Yeah,
Like he
I agree.
deserves to be a number one receiver. I think he gets overlooked a lot actually.
I like him. I wanted the Steelers to draft him. We had a chance to draft him. I wanted us to take him.
Who'd you end up taking?
I forget.
And
It
nobody.
was the year, I think it was the year whoever we picked in the second round for Najee. After Najee. I'd have to look it up. I can look it up.
Alrighty, boys, that's all the news we have in the NFL. Let's jump into these power rankings going into week 5. At number 5, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 4, Mackey's Dallas Cowboys. 3, the Buffalo Bills. 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. And staying there at number 1, the San Francisco 49ers, just hanging out there. Any comments on this, boys? The Week 5 power rankings.
Yeah, Chiefs at 5 does seem kind of crazy, but to be honest, they're just not really playing the best football, and these teams ahead of them are playing really good football. We had to edge the Dolphins out this week, but I mean, there's definitely 6 teams that deserve to be in this top 5. It's just somebody's got to get fucked here. But Cowboys strong showing against a pretty decent Patriots team, a good Patriots defense, but they just absolutely rocked them this week. So I mean, I think that made them deserving of getting back in this week.
Yeah, Mackie said it all there. The Chiefs, though, I mean, I said this going into this week, with the way our power rankings are and how top-heavy that top 6 is really ahead of the pack, whoever loses that Bills-Dolphins game for me is falling out of the rankings. Not a bad theory, in my opinion, because we've seen the good and the bad from the Bills. Really,
it wasn't a shootout either, so...
Also, those Josh Allen odds flipping up to the highest in the league. He's at plus 300 right now, the lowest in the league, I should say.
I think people just forget that he turned the ball over 4 times in week 1, and
that's all right. The week 1,
I mean, we're 4 weeks into the season. It's not like we've got a 16-week sample size now.
No,
4 weeks in.
You know how you got to look at week 1.
I know, but that's just kind of funny. Like, he shouldn't have the best odds. He should not.
Back to that, I found where he got drafted. The Steelers didn't have a first-round pick in that draft, but we picked Chase Claypool like 10 picks later, and we picked Claypool in front of 2 picks before the Cowboys took Trayvon Diggs, 5 picks before the Eagles took Jalen Hurts.
Oh, my God.
And about 8 picks before the Ravens took J.K. Dobbins.
Damn.
I mean, J.K. Dobbins
This is why I don't look back at drafts.
At least you got draft capital from Chase Claypool, so you should really just see what that turned into and maybe just judge that pick on that.
I think it was Pickens or Joey Porter last year.
Yeah, I love looking into the trees of a trade that how they break out and
like
whatnot.
what it turned into after the picks get used.
Everybody loves the Trey Lance trade right now. That's probably the biggest one to do it with. But other than that, yeah, those top 6 rankings. I'll tell you what, clear cut number 7. I know they're not in our top 6 because we might have to respect their loss a bit more now after seeing how good these Texans are, in my opinion. But the Ravens are that clear cut 7. Sitting at 3-1, handling. I know Deshaun was out, but they handled that really elite defense. They put Lamar and Andrews having days, 2 back-to-back divisional wins. So can't be mad about that from the Ravens standpoint. If any of these top 6 start to slip, you could see them move in. Also excited for our 1v4 matchup this week. My pick for the Super Bowl and the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers, my ultimate lock to win that division, is taking on Mackey's Dallas Cowboys over in San Francisco, though. So that'll be a great one to watch. I know that we'll be talking about that soon enough.
Good stuff, boys. Lots of good stuff going into week 5 here. Let's just jump right into these games here, starting with Thursday night football. The Chicago Bears heading into Washington to visit the Commanders. Commanders are the favorite here at 5.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 255. The Bears money line at plus 210. And the total at 44.5. I'm currently seeing about 80% of the money on the Commanders, which is pretty interesting. All right, some trends I got for this one. Commanders 3-16 against the spread in their past 19 games as home chalk of 6 or more points. Since they aren't 6 or more points, I got these trends yesterday. Under 14.
Well, no, they're 6. They're 6 now.
Oh, is it? Yeah, 5.5.
I think it's 6 right now.
Yeah, it's 5.5. I just read it. Under 14-2 in Washington's last 16 games at home, and the Bears 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games played on a Thursday. 5 of those games went under. Who wants to get us rolling on this one? Going to be a decent Thursday night football matchup. I mean, the Bears not a great team, but the Commanders, are they that great either? Ace, what do you think?
I'm going to tell you what, this is the first time that the schedule makers really got us after what we had to watch on Sunday Night Football and what we're going to have to watch tomorrow night. It's catching up to us. Remember those early season primetime games? They were looking electric. And now we're getting Commanders, Bears in the primetime. I think it'll actually be pretty fun to watch. I like watching Howell and Fields, even though they make some boneheaded decisions. But I'm eager to hear what you guys have for a side in this one, and I'll give my take on this game.
I don't really have a... Go ahead, Mackie.
Okay, I haven't really watched a lot of Washington Commanders games this year, but I'm kind of excited to because I want to see how good Sam Howell actually is. I've heard a lot about his name, seen a few nice plays, but never actually watched a game. But with that being said, I mean the Bears suck, so I can't lean them in this side. I actually do really like the Commanders minus 5.5. I think that they can get take care of business. That defense is playing pretty well. Bears have nothing going on offense. Their defense isn't very good either. So, I mean, they're pretty gross to watch. So I'm gonna lean Washington -5.5 in this one for sure.
Yeah,
Let's
before
go.
we jump in here, I was gonna say that Matt Chapman hit on the Blue Jays needed that to drop in fair would have been clutch. Instead, he grounds into a double play like a
We're on
loser.
opposite sides here. I didn't know you had the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, you said it earlier, little faggot.
Yeah, no, but gotta love the value. They can come back with one swing of the bat. Good team. But no, jumping into this game, I'm gonna go with a half a unit on the Bears +231. You'll hear that on our live stream. I don't love too much, but I just think that Justin Fields might be able to pull one out here. This Commanders team isn't that good. They're going in confident for once into a game. I think that hurts them more than helps them. Not super confident in this at all, but a value play. I already locked it in actually at +231. Only other thing I'm going to look at is maybe a Justin Fields touchdown, but those receivers in Washington definitely scare me.
Yeah, there's two things I have my eyes on here. One's the first half under. It's let me see the number.
21.5.
21.5. I love that. I'll probably for sure take that at the 21.5 at the -110 right now. I'm gonna wait and see where it goes, but I saw it at -115 this morning, and now it's -110. So maybe get a little higher. I don't really know, but and then I do like it. Like Ace said, I like Justin Fields to get in the end zone, but I'll probably do the first touchdown 12-1 instead of the. I have +140 for the anytime. So both are a little tempting, but
Great odds on that.
You guys
knowing
don't
me,
like. You guys don't like this Commanders defense?
No, I do. I
do.
I think there's a lot of value on like the Bears in this
Fields
game.
is always
I
running,
do.
Mac. You know he doesn't know how to throw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
true.
not. That's why I said I'm not going to have a side in this game. I like that first half under, and I just think that's insane value. If the Bears get the ball and can somehow get down the field, I like them to just try to run Fields in.
Do I slap on a Mike Ditka jersey or something like that and just go one unit on the Bears to win and one unit on Justin Fields to get in? And if one of them hits, I'm making some good dough.
He could. Or Komet. Komet's been. He had a big game last week for against Denver. I mean, I know they lost. I think he had 2 touchdowns and like 100-some yards. He had a big day.
Yeah, but I do really like that Justin Fields touchdown. At those odds, I know that defense, Mac, it does scare me too. But I just think he's running for his life all the time, and he has the wheels to get in, especially if they get close to the goal line. Yeah, I can't believe it, but I'm siding with the Bears slightly, just for the odds.
Yeah, I probably will not have a play on the side on this game. You'll for sure see that.
That's got to be too many points for the Commanders, in my opinion.
I don't know. If the Bears look anything like they did, I mean, dude, they just blew a 28-7 lead to the Bears or to the Broncos.
Yeah, but what was that final?
31-28.
Score game. Yeah, they were right there. And I think the Broncos and the Commanders are a pretty even team, as we saw when they played.
We'll have to see. I know what you mean.
Alrighty, Thursday night football there in Washington. Let's jump over to Sunday. We're heading over to London again, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Jags staying in London to take on the Bills. Bills are the favorite here, 5.5 points as well here. Their money line -230. Jags money line +190, and the total at 48.5. No trends for me on this one, but who wants to get us started? Going into London for another week. Trevor Lawrence in London for a second week in a row. It honestly just kind of makes me laugh. I really don't understand why they do it back to back. But
last week they were at Wembley, and this week they're at Tottenham. They're playing indoor this time, so no London under. I don't know if it hit last week, but this one's at 48.5, and Tottenham is a dome. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I feel like this game looks kind of trappy. Like, why is it a 5.5 point spread? Jaguars have been over there for 2 weeks. They put up a great showing last week, dominated the Falcons. I mean, the Bills have been playing some really good football, but we know how they play. It's a lot different when they're not playing in Buffalo. So I definitely like the Jaguars +5.5. I kind of like their money line too. It's just too much value for two teams that aren't really that much different in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on the other side. I kind of leaned on the Bills here. I think that they look a little too electric right now for me to take the Jaguars against them. I think that defense will have some trouble with Josh Allen and what they've been able to do on the offensive side of the ball in Buffalo. So I'd probably lean on Buffalo. I don't know. I'm glad this is a 9:30 game because I might just wake up and watch this during the stream and not really have a play on this. But yeah, that's a tough spread. But I don't know. Maybe the Bills in a money line parlay I'd like more, but. Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about the 5.5. Definitely, I think I lean Buffalo though.
Mackie, you were saying you liked them plus 5.5?
Yeah, definitely. I'm probably gonna sprinkle money line, dude.
Yeah, me too. And it's crazy. It's another one where it's like, fuck, the value is way too good. These teams are really close. I think in my rankings, I know the Bills are jumping up ours, but I think Jaguars haven't played to their potential yet. They have 2 weeks in London now. I love that. That's basically their home stadium. They're there every year. But you've been there for a while. The Bills just had a nice big divisional win, right? Everything's going all right. But
I don't
now you
want to
got to
cut you
go
off.
play super early in the morning.
I don't think that means the 2 weeks in London. I don't think that means as much as you think. These players hate going over there.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, you're just
They're
like,
comfortable.
You've been over there. You're like more
And they were successful there.
in the swing of
Think
things.
about how great that defense played last week in the morning.
I think the Bills come out really slow. I just don't see. Dude, we've seen it so many times with them going on the road. Them just not being able to get that offense going. They're just not meshing very well. You're going across the country. I mean, I'm assuming they've been there for 2 days now, but I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get into things over there, definitely.
I think Josh Allen is due to throw an interception overseas. He loves turning the ball over. The defense was feasting last week. They have two touchdowns maybe, but they were.
Yeah, it was Desmond
Ritter.
Ritter. So
no, that's still too. But as long as I'm in the same boat as you, Mackie. I think they come out slow. The only thing is we can't have that Trevor Lawrence game like they had against the Kansas City Chiefs, where they came out slow and they couldn't do anything all game. That's going to shoot them in the foot. Because I think the defense actually steps up to the challenge and contains the Bills as best they can. But I still think that you're going to have to put up over 24 points to win this game.
I agree.
I do like points here. I think this is a good game. But again, too much value on the Jaguars in London again. Give me them. I'm not my favorite pick of the week, but give me them.
Another London game here. The Jags playing at least one home game in London every year since 2013. So pretty interesting there. Let's jump into this 1 o'clock slate, though. The Texans and Falcons are the first one up here. The Falcons are the favorite. -2 for them. Their money line at -126. Texans money line at +108. Total 41.5. Trends I got here. Unders are 12-7 in the Texans' road games over the past 2 seasons. And only the Saints have been a worse against the spread team at home since 2021 than the Atlanta Falcons, 6-12 against the spread. What are you guys thinking here going into this first Monday Night Football game in Atlanta? Texans
Sunday
football, 1 o'clock. Yep, go ahead. Who's up?
Yeah, so a lot of people are going to be on the Texans in this game for good reason. CJ Stroud has looked really good over the past 2 weeks, putting up their over 30 points on the Jags and the Steelers. And they've looked like a really good team. They have a lot of weapons there. They're getting it. I'm seeing a 2-point spread here. I really don't love the side either way here. I do like the under in this game, the under 41. I think both teams will struggle a little bit. 2 younger quarterbacks. I'm not sold on Desmond Ritter to put up a ton of points. I know CJ Stroud has done it in the past couple of weeks, but I like that Falcons defense to contain him a little bit with the guys they have in that secondary. I'm going to go with the under 41.5 in this game.
I like that play. I've gotten screwed by 2 Texans unders already this year, so I just can't ride any of those anymore, but I do like that play in this position. Yeah, I agree with your statement. I think a lot of people are I'm kind of intrigued to see the money splits coming in on this game because Texans are riding hot right now. They put up 30-plus points the last 2 games, got a huge win against the Steelers last week. Nobody anticipated that. Beat the division rival Jaguars as well. While the Falcons started 2-0 and got 2 tough losses their last 2 weeks. So 2 teams going in opposite directions right now, and the Falcons are still favored by 2 points. Seems a little trappy. I definitely do like the Texans. CJ Stroud is playing incredible football for his first 4 weeks this season of his career, so that's pretty incredible. I don't think many people saw that coming from him, but like I said, it's just a sketchy line. I lean the Texans if anything, but probably gonna stay away from this one.
Yeah, honestly, I'm high on these Texans. You heard me talking about them earlier. I think Nico Collins is a true wide receiver 1. You have Tank Dell bursting onto the scene. They have guys like Robert Woods and Dalton Schultz in supporting roles. Pretty solid. But I think they're riding too high. I see a little regression for CJ Stroud this week. He's played the part as franchise QB. Sounds like it, looks like it. And he's 4th in the league in passing, so he's definitely performed as well. However, I think that Atlanta Falcons team's playing solid football. They're fighting for the division and fighting to have a place in the playoffs. I think that running attack, they got Cordarrelle Patterson back now, so I'm eager to see how they actually use Pat Algier and B-Rob. But It's going to be a grimy game. I think it's low scoring. I don't think that CJ Stroud is good of a day as he had the last few weeks. I know that Steelers defense is tough, but the Falcons secondary is much better than the Steelers. So that should be interesting to watch. I like the Falcons here in a tight
Why do
one.
you keep going at? I mean, they have Minka and Pat Pete. Why do you think the Steelers secondary is so bad? I think that's one of their stronger suits.
Really? I'm not high on Pat P anymore at all.
He's not bad though.
I'll take AJ Terrell, Jeff Okuda, and Jesse Bates. On the Steelers, I trust their front seven way more. I'm talking about the coverage guys too. Make it more so just like he plays in the box. Maybe he'll cover tight end, but I'm talking about like true cover guys on the outside. I just think I think it's a tougher matchup than people think for CJ Stroud this week. I think it'll be a good one, though. Maybe I ride that trend of B-Rob getting in. I know we didn't last week. Did somebody have that on the card? Can't remember. But
I see a lot of people on that B-Rob anytime.
They always are. And this Texans defense is pretty light, in my opinion. I know they've played better than they are, but I expect some regression from Houston here. I'm going to side with the Falcons. Again, not my favorite pick on the week. A lot of tight games, in my opinion, here, but I'll take ATL to get another win and keep pace with the Bucs for that division.
It's crazy you're saying keep pace with the Bucs.
Yeah, no, they're a much better team than we thought.
Lots of surprises coming into this season here, but let's continue on this 1 p.m. slate. Panthers going into Detroit to visit the Lions. The Lions, the favorite here, a big spread, 9.5 points in their favor. Their money line at -460. Panthers money line at +360, and the total at 44.5. The trends I got here, the Panthers have lost 11 of 12 games versus top 10 rush offenses since the beginning of 2021, the worst in the league. And the Lions have covered 8 of their past 11 home games and 6 of their past 8 when favored. 9.5 points here for the Lions. Do you guys like this spread? One of the larger ones of the week, I see a 10.5 on the board coming up. What are you guys thinking here, 1 o'clock in Detroit?
I'll start us out here. This is obviously one of the uglier games of the week. I don't think anyone's actually going to have a play on this unless you're taking that big spread with the Lions, which I think they could end up covering, but I mean, I can't do it with the big spreads. If anything, I like I like this to go over. I was just looking at how many points the Panthers have put up in each of their games. I think they've put up at least 17 in each of their spots. Playing in a dome in Detroit, Detroit's able to put up points at home. I'd go with the over 44.5 in this game. Might even make a little 2-leg teaser with that other under I was looking at with Houston and this over and try to get a couple points going in my direction. But I like the over in this game.
Yeah, I like that play as well. This Panthers team is pretty damn bad, and they're getting Bryce Young back this week, which is probably a bad thing for them. 9.5 point spread is just a little too much for me, but the Lions should roll this week. This is just a get through the game, get a W on your in the column, and move on.
I could see Panthers put up about 14 points in this game, or just a bunch of field goals. I could see it.
Are they away from home this week? This game's in Detroit. That's probably better for the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if you guys saw the booing going on last place. Butthurt Miles Sanders taking offense to it, but they're getting Chuba Hubbard involved too. This team's trying whatever they can to get anything going. Adam Thielen, his resurgence is real, huh? I like to see him eating for the Panthers, but I'm with you guys here. I think this Detroit team has been too strong. I'm not super high on them, but I'm high enough on them to get the win here handedly. I could see this being a 10-point spread and never in doubt all game. I'm looking for Jared Goff to have a good week, especially without J.C. Horn. I feel like they're going to end up trading Brian Burns kind of soon. Jesse said Brent Burns last week. Carolina Hurricane, great, but Brian Burns, I could see him on the trade block for the Carolina Panthers as one of the best players in the league, stuck on a rebuilding team.
Yeah, this can be a snooze fest.
Yeah, you guys said it. Going to be a snooze fest. Going to be a tough one to watch here, but it's just another one of those 1 o'clock games, so let's keep on trucking on. Titans and Colts next up in Indianapolis. The Titans are the favorite here, -1.5 for them. Their money line, -124. Colts money line at +106. Total sitting at 42.5. Trends I got here. Only the Saints and the Giants have cashed under tickets at a higher rate since 2021 than the Tennessee Titans. Titans at 63%. Colts 1-5-1 outright when favored since the beginning of last season. So not too hot there for the Colts, but maybe a different season here as I'm way more excited this year than I was last year to watch the Colts. Who wants to get us rolling on this one?
Yeah, I can get started here, Huff. Just because you're the big Anthony Richardson fan, I am too. He's a great player to watch. It's like watching Lamar Jackson, but outside of your own division, I'd say. But no, I think this is going to be a great game here. A lot of people wouldn't peg it to be one, but these Colts are flying high. Tough luck loss last week to the Rams. I believe someone had them on the card, and I was so close to tailing that as well and didn't, luckily, but that ended tough. But with Jonathan Taylor coming back too, I mean, they got to be hyped up for this one. Big divisional matchup. I could see this one being a close one though. I don't like a lot of points. I think points are going to be hard to come by, and they're all going to be on the ground in my opinion. I think that the Titans can stick around with Mike Vrabel leading the charge, but I do think the Colts get this one done. But don't quote me on it. I might be changing that as we speak on it again. I hope this is on our Sunday live stream potentially. I don't know who you guys are taking this one. This is such a tough game for me to decide on.
You ever see the meme of the guy slamming down the credit card like they can't take your money fast enough? That's I'm doubling down with the Colts here. I love them in this spot. They're at home. Like you said, they're getting Jonathan Taylor back. I'm big on Anthony Richardson. I like this rush offense. I don't think the Titans defense is going to be able to do too much to contain the speed that they're going to have on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think there's going to be a ton of points. I think there's going to be a lot of rushing going on with Derrick Henry on the side for Tennessee, not having his best season. I think he has a good game against the Colts
Spears
defense.
Too.
Exactly. I think Tennessee runs the ball a lot. I think the Colts are going to use a lot of running the ball. I think the Colts could win this game. What's the over-under in this game? What do they think it's going to be? I could see like 20-17. Is that under?
I feel like that's still a lot of points, Huff, for this game.
I don't know.
I'd probably take Anthony Richardson to score another rushing touchdown, but now it's going to start getting scary with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't know. Do you think that him and Richardson mesh right away? They have the skill to do it, but they're such two premier runners, essentially.
That's kind of what I was going to say. I think they kind of got to get Jonathan Taylor back in the swing of things. Huff, you said this Colts team's home. They really don't have home field advantage. They're 0-2 this year at home, 2-0 on the road, so they're actually playing really well on the road, but they're not really finding out ways to win in their home field in that dome of Lucas Oil, but Tennessee's coming off a nice statement win against Cincinnati. I had Cincinnati for a 2-unit play, and this team just kind of shit all over them. 27-3 win. Derrick Henry threw a damn touchdown pass, and Joe Burrow didn't. So that just says everything about that game. Tennessee's riding high into this game. They could fall flat in their face, but I don't know. I do kind of like them in this game. -2.5 point spread. I think they'll cover it. Nice divisional game here, though. I think it's going to be a good one.
This one's going to be a slugfest, I think. And, Mackie, how hard is it to bet against the Titans? That's like one of the scariest teams to play against. Mike Vrabel has them competitive in like almost every game. They're not that great, but they're somehow there. Tannehill's not too shabby either. Flies under the radar, is decent.
He gets the job done, you know? He just does enough.
Yeah, he's not great. He's not terrible. Just another form of Kirk Cousins, but he's down there, and Mike Vrabel's got him fired up. Look for this one to be a tight matchup. It's going to be a hotly contested one. I bet you this is going to be on your TV last in the 1 o'clock slate.
Definitely another one of those matchups. Who knows what's going to happen. Let's keep on going on here. The Giants and the Dolphins in Miami are next up. The Dolphins, the favorite here, I think the largest spread of the week here. 10.5 points. Their money line sitting at -590. The Giants money line at +430. The total at 48.5. Here are my trends. Dolphins, 12-2 straight up in their last 14 Sunday home games, and the Giants have failed to cover 5 straight games. Curious to hear what you're thinking here. Ace, why don't you start us off on this one in Miami?
Before you go, Ace, you're muted, by the way. But before you go, real quick, I mean, this team put up 70 points in that Broncos defense. They might put up 110 on this Giants defense.
Especially with the way that the Giants have been playing. I was going to say, it's hard to get a read on that Titans-Colts game, but we know exactly what's going to happen in this game. The Miami Dolphins are going to roll the New York Giants. I know Saquon Barkley's back, so that may help, Mackie. Let's not take the horses out of the gate yet, but that team looks terrible. Their O-line in shambles. Defense not even doing much. I don't know. I think the Dolphins get the job done here after dropping a tough one last week. They're going to come out flying. I think Tyreek finds the end zone and has a day. This might be a Tyreek catches game for me as he looks to get back to his elite ways. But I think the Dolphins cover here and roll.
Yeah, 11 points might be a little too much for me, but this Giants team is in shambles. That offensive line is horrid, probably the worst I think I've ever seen watching a game live. Defense doesn't really have much going for them. Miami's offense is going to absolutely roll in this game. I could see them winning this game by 20, 30 points. But, 11 points is just too high of a spread. You see backdoor shit all the time. This is a good situation for a backdoor game. But Giants are horrible. They could be fighting for that number 1 overall pick next year. Maybe bring in Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I agree on the side that the Miami's definitely going to kill in this game and roll. I think they get theirs. I'm definitely leaning on this is the one spot where I'm on the bigger spread. I'm leaning on the minus team if I were to take something here. Definitely lean on the Dolphins with the 10 points. I think it's going to be 7-0 Dolphins on the first drive. So at that point, you're going to be getting a live number, 14, anywhere from there, and then go from there. If you really want a live bet of 14 or 17 point spread, that's on you. But I'd definitely lean on the Dolphins here. I think back home, off a divisional loss, I think the Dolphins are looking to get right here, pick up a big win here against the Giants.
You think there could be some good value in Saquon Barkley finding the end zone, though? We know the Dolphins can score a lot. They'll give some up, too, and we know Barkley's going to get a lion's share of the work.
I don't know if there's a line set on it. There's not.
Because he's questionable.
I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, especially coming
Giants
off of injury.
are so fucking
but there,
bad.
if Barkley and that, who's that, Evan Neal? Or is it Thomas or Neal? Who's that lineman?
Andrew
there?
Thomas and Evan Neal, they're both there.
Yeah, if they can.
Andrew Thomas was injured last week, though. That's why.
Yeah,
he
if
was,
they can get Saquon and him back, it could be a slower game than we think. I still like the Dolphins to win here. Yeah, give me the Fins here. Fins up. What do you guys think about that running back, Devin Achane?
Yeah, dude,
they're really good.
They're finding a way to use both of them really well. Him and Raheem Mostert. So that offense is they're getting so much production from everybody. It's hard not to get everyone involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with Waddle back as well, they're getting back to full strength and really figuring out everything they can. We know Mike McDaniels is a mastermind, but I think Achane could turn in one of the most explosive players in the league if they can use him the right way. That speed is off the charts mixed with Waddle and Tyreek. Tua still in the conversation for MVP. Just got to have a bounce back week here.
We'll see what those Dolphins can do if they could just run those Giants out of town or what's going to happen. But another 1 o'clock game there. Let's shift it up to Pittsburgh. The Ravens and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Ravens are the favorite here at -4. We hinted on this game last week when Haas was on. Ravens money line at -194. Steelers money line at +162, and the total at 38, the lowest of the week. My trends are under tickets are cashing at a 73% clip since 2021 when the Ravens are favored, and unders are 12-7 in the Steelers home games since 2021. That's a super low under. What are you guys thinking on this one here coming into Pittsburgh at 1 o'clock? Our second to last 1 o'clock matchup here. Huff, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a crazy low under, and I think it will hit. Steelers and Ravens tend to play the defensive style game. The Steelers offense hasn't given me any reason to believe that they can hit an over, let alone give me a threat at this 38. I know the Ravens can put up points, but they play into that. You saw last week, Ravens-Browns, it was, 24-3. Give me another game like that. Hopefully my Steelers can put up more of a fight, but I'm definitely not going to have a play on the side in this game. My Steelers burnt me last week on the card, not giving me too much confidence right now with all this bullshit that Tomlin's spewing to the Pittsburgh sports media. But I do think the game goes under. Give me that under 38. It's a tough, even 38, but it will go under, I think.
Huff, you seem a little frustrated with those Steelers after I don't know what you heard, what's going on in the Pittsburgh media, but we weren't able to watch that game last week, obviously, because we were in Dallas, but from what we saw, 30-6 to the Texans, didn't look too good. But you know how this team plays when they're back in Hines. So wait, were they in Hines last week?
No, it was in Houston.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The bullshit that I was referring to was someone after that in Tomlin's postgame press conference said, "Are there going to be any changes going into next week?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, there will be changes." The fucking change was we're going to wear pads on Thursdays now. That's the change. Not firing an offensive coordinator after putting up 6 points. Not fucking doing anything after being the worst offense in all the whole fucking league. Just we're going to wear pads on Thursdays.
That's what everyone's looking at, is trying to get rid of Matt Canada, and I think that's probably the option here. But Kenny Pickett hurt. You got Mitch Trubisky coming in this week. The Steelers are a different team at home, though. We've seen them that they don't need a quarterback to win football games. They beat the Browns Monday Night Football at home with basically 2 defensive touchdowns and then 1 Kenny Pickett throw. So they could definitely still get the job done here. I like them +4. Like I said in the beginning of the season, these AFC North teams need to defend home field, and I think the Steelers defend home field in that division better than anybody.
Yeah, you guys have talked a lot about the Steelers here. No discredit to them. They have a lot of talent on that team, and they play great at Heinz Field. They really do. I mean, look at what they did to a healthy Browns team. They played bad, and they still beat them. But I think that these Ravens are a much tougher matchup than people think. 4 points is very generous for the spread here. I think they should be favored by a bit more. But I know it's at Heinz, divisional game, but it's at 1 o'clock here. I expect Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson to stay hot. They've been doing it all year long. They're getting rookie running back Keaton Mitchell back. They have Justice Hill in the mix and Gus Edwards. They just demoted Melvin Gordon. Those rookie receivers really turning up. Zay Flowers, I don't know who's going to stick with him in coverage. Mark Andrews, same thing there. But on the defensive side of the ball, Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen are playing great defense. It's going to be tough for whoever it is, Trubisky, Pickett. Either one, kind of the same breed. But Najee Harris has gone ghost. He's non-existent. I don't know where he went. And without Deontay Johnson, he's a pretty underrated receiver in my opinion. I don't like how they can get much going against the Ravens, and I think it's going to be another tough day for them, just like last week. Not that bad, but they'll keep it close because it's divisional. But I like the Ravens to cover here. I'm going to wait on my line, though. If I can get this to somehow drop to 3.5 and I can buy that half a point, I really want to get the Ravens at 3 just because it's a divisional game. So let's wait on that. But Ravens -4. Ravens spread is my play on this one.
Solid stuff, boys. Hopefully one of the ones we talk about on Sunday for our live stream. Make sure you tune in for that one. Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, each and every week. Let's jump into this last 1 p.m. game on Sunday here in Week 5. The Saints visiting the Patriots in Foxborough. Saints are the favorite here just by 1 point. It's a pick 'em here, -108 on each side, and the total pretty low there at 40 points even. Trends I got here. Unders are 10-1 over the past 2+ seasons when the Saints play a top 10 defense. The Patriots have won 8 of their past 9 games outright when favored. Ace, why don't you take this one away here? Our final 1 p.m. matchup here in Week 5.
Yeah, we don't need to dive in too much to the Patriots' ins and outs. We've kind of been doing that throughout the podcast with their injury update, the recap of the Cowboys game and what's not. But they need a bounce-back game here, if there ever was one. They get a light opponent for the first time all year. I know they played the Jets with Zach Wilson, but we saw they gave Patrick Mahomes fit, so that defense is no joke, and they played 3 of the best teams in the league in the Dolphins, Eagles, and Cowboys in the first 4 weeks. So they got to be excited to play the Saints. No slouch on defense there, but going back home after an embarrassing loss, I expect a Bill Belichick-led team to come back strong. I expect Mac Jones to have a solid performance because that's what he was doing earlier up until this point. Cowboys in their own building, tough spot, and that team's on a whole nother level than us. This one, even playing ground, some injuries on that Saints side of the ball. They're kind of trying to find themselves as well. I thought they'd have much more success to this point. I think 40 is a lot of points. I still think it goes under here, but I like this Patriots defense to pick up for Judon and Gonzo and show that they still have that fight in them, and the Patriots to get to 2-3 here. Pick them. I'll take them on the -108 for sure.
Yeah, I like the under as well on the under 40 points as well. But I don't think this is an even playing field. I think the Saints are a better team than you guys. Definitely name for name for sure.
I thought they were too, but they're not.
I mean,
They're not good.
you like you're.
Dude,
I mean,
the Saints- yeah,
it's
Saints-
a matchup, but they're.
You guys losing some defenders, like.
Yeah, I think I definitely think
for
the Saints
Patriots,
are going to be the better
defense is
team on
replaceable.
Sunday.
Patriot.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I'll go with the Saints here. Pending Derek Carr plays this game, it's going to be tough with his injury. You never really know what he's going to be like with an arm injury for a quarterback. But I like the better defense to get the job done in New Orleans here.
Yeah, I definitely lean New Orleans as well. I mean, this Patriots team is going down a bad hole. You just had 2 elite players on defense get injured. I don't know how well that defense is going to carry without him. And, Mac Jones is in shambles right now from last week. Offense isn't really getting anything going. I think if they lose this game, they're going to have a pretty rough season, go down a pretty bad path. But I mean, this is a big game for their season, for their confidence. You need to win this game. 2-3 is a hell of a lot better than 1-4. You're on your home field. You got to get the job done here. But I mean, I do lean the Saints. I have to lean the Saints here. They're in a tougher spot than they thought they would be in this division. This division's winning football games. The Buccaneers. The only team that's really not is the Panthers. But I gotta lean Saints here. I think that they need to get the job done, and they will.
I think that the only team that gets a win this week in that division is going to be Falcons with the Bucs on the bye. But it's a must-win game for the Patriots early on in the season. That doesn't mean your season's looking too good. But let's see what they got. Backs against the wall. I trust the depth, especially on defense. Offense got to show up at some point. So hopefully it's this week. This will be a hard-fought game, though. Saints-Patriots, always a good one. Always a defensive battle. Two great defensively sound teams. So this will be a fun one to tune into. I might have to take the Patriots on the card again on this one. I really trust the bounce back here.
I can promise I will
Crazy,
not
man.
be tuning into this.
I know. And you know what's funny is the amount of people that are off the Mac Jones wagon completely. It's crazy. I don't want to harp too much on him because he's just a mid quarterback at best anyways. I'm not saying he's anything good. But to expect him to do anything last week anyways is insane in my opinion. We were in that
What do you
stadium. It felt like a video game the way that it was shaking on third down. Jerry's world was literally rocking. He was due for a bad game against either the Eagles, Dolphins, or Cowboys. So glad he got that out of the way. I think he can bounce back here.
I think you have to bounce back here.
That's what I'm saying.
mean,
I
I
think
don't know.
that's what I'm saying. I think he.
If he doesn't, he's in might be in some deep shit over there in New England.
Oh, he already is. You believe me?
Bounce back game, bounce back game, bounce back game. That's what you guys keep saying here, but that's going to wrap up the 1 p.m. slate. Let's jump into these 4 p.m. matchups here. Cincinnati Bengals heading into Arizona to visit the Cardinals. The Bengals are the favorite here, -3. Their money line, -148. Cardinals money line +126. And the total at 44.5. The trends I got here, the Bengals have generally been great against the spread since 2021, but over that stretch, they've covered just 2 of 8 warm weather games. So very interesting when they go into warm weather cities. Since 2021, the Cardinals are third best against the spread team following an outright loss, 12-6 against the spread following an outright loss. So pretty interesting trend there as well. Curious to hear what you guys got here. Sunday, 4 p.m. in Arizona. Who wants to get us rolling?
I don't know why I like so many totals this week, but I like the over in this game. I think both teams are able to put up points. I don't normally take a lot of over-unders, but I'm liking a lot of these numbers, and this one's another 44.5, not too high. I'm going to probably end up taking this over. I think the Bengals are able to get in the end zone a couple of times, put up 23, 24, somewhere in that range of the mid-20s points, and I think the Cardinals are able to get theirs as well in their home field. I would lean on the Bengals to cover this game. I like the -3 as well, but I do like that over. So Bengals with the over for me.
Yeah, I just don't have any confidence in this Bengals team putting up points right now. They put up 3 points last week. Second time they haven't scored a touchdown this season in 4 weeks. So I can't really get behind an over on that in one of their games right now. But I mean, you have to lean them in this game. You have to think this is a get-right game for Joe Burrow. He's had too many bad games this season already. I know he's playing injured. I know that offensive line isn't giving him the most help. But, I mean, this is a game where you have to win if you want your season to even stay alive. They're sitting at 1-3 right now, going into Arizona. They thought this was going to be an easy win coming into the season. You have to get the job done to stay alive in that tough division.
Yeah, I heard that. I said this one when Jesse introduced the game here. This is a tough one to see on the schedule here with the way the Bengals are playing. But you have to think they get right at some point, right? Joe Burrow, I know he's playing the season all hurt. They're not going to disclose that information, but you got to step up to the plate here. If the Bengals have any hope in staying alive in that division, it starts with a win here this week. They're just doing the Steelers favors by letting them hang around in second place in that division. So I expect them to get right here. I'm not putting my money on them anymore. I can't do it again. Mackie and I got burnt last week. I've been burnt by them a few times. Not betting on them. I'm telling you, don't bet on them, but I am telling you, I think they win this week. But those Cardinals love to cover, so it will not be a fun one to watch. Well, it'll be a fun one to watch, but not if you have money on the Bengals. But I'm not putting my money on Joe Burrow until I see he's 100% healthy and beats a good team sound.
Solid stuff there, guys. The next game up here, Eagles and Rams in LA. The Eagles, are the favorite here. 4.5 points for them. Their money line at -215. The Rams money line at +180. And the total at 50.5. The trends I got here, Rams are 2-12-1 against the spread in their last 15 games against Philadelphia. Eagles 24-3 straight up in their last 27 games is the favorite. And the Rams 5-1-1 against the spread in their last 7. Ace, why don't you get us rolling on here on this one? Eagles heading all the way over to LA to visit the Rams. What do you got?
Yeah, Eagles going across the country here to go play some football, but I mean, those Rams, they're playing great right now. Puka Nacua, offensive rookie of the year, he's looking like. Cooper Kupp coming off the IR. They just got a nice win over a solid Colts team. Matt Stafford looks healthy, chucking the rock around. And they got McVay and Donald there too, so you can't complain too much. However, on the other side of the ball, I'm going to look at the Eagles. 4.5 points, disrespectful again. This team is not getting enough respect this year. It's not getting enough respect from us. I know they haven't been playing up to their standards yet, but they're undefeated, and I think they're only going to keep playing better. Their best football is in front of them. I think that the Rams kind of show their true colors here. I don't think they're a playoff team. They're in the playoff conversation now early on, but I don't think they're a playoff team at all, and the Eagles will show them that this Sunday. I like them to cover this 4 easily. I'm going to buy that half point naturally just for peace of mind. I think they cover this one. A.J. Brown will find the end zone. He's looked unstoppable when they can get him the rock. Jalen Hurts with that tush push is impossible to stop. So much talent on this loaded roster. I expect them to get to 5-0 here. Not a Birds fan at all, but I think Philly's a good team.
Mackie, you want to go here?
Yeah, I think this is a tough game for the Eagles. I mean, like you said, you're going across the country. This Rams team has been playing some really good football, coming off a nice electric OT win in Indianapolis last week, and now they get to go home. Like you said, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, these guys are just stepping up, making this offense really well. Matt Stafford obviously doing his thing. He has a Super Bowl for a reason. I just think that Eagles offense could have a really nice field day with that weak LA Rams defense. We've seen them kind of get torn apart a few times this year, and that this Eagles offense is definitely one to reckon with. So if they get something going, I think it could be a little scary, but I definitely do lean the Rams here, plus the 4 points at home, maybe even for the money line, but I'll be safe with the 4 points here. Give me the Rams plus 4.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same side as you, Mackie. I like them in this spot to come home and kind of put up a fight here. I'm actually leaning more the money line, them to get the win here. I'm not saying I'm going to take this on the card. I'd probably end up taking the points if I do like it enough, but I don't know. That plus 180, I think the Rams have been playing pretty good football. I think they're able to do enough and hang around in this game late and get the ball with the last drive and potentially win it on the last drive. But I think the value on the Rams here, I do like it at home with the cross-country flight from Philly, so I'm definitely leaning on the Rams here to get the job done.
I'm hyped to see Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua come out of the same wide receiver sets. I think they're going to be electric. I like Tutu Atwell there as a 3 as well. I like Tyler Higbee, and Kerwin Williams is stepping up to the plate. But I really think that the Eagles soundly win this game. What's it going to take for you guys to believe in this Eagles team at all? What are they going to have to do on Sunday for you to take them legitimately as an undefeated team?
I believe it.
I know you're high on the Rams and whatnot, but what are they going to have to do this Sunday for you to buy in?
I believe in this team. Believe me, I've watched football for the past 2 years. I know what they're capable of, and they're in the primetime every week. This is their first non-primetime game that they're going to have to see. And that's another thing. Are they used to playing at 8 o'clock? They play every week on Sunday and Monday night, Thursday night football. So I don't know. I like the Rams in this spot. I think a little Sunday afternoon spoiler for the Eagles, who haven't lost a game since the Super Bowl. Give me the Rams on the money line.
The Eagles haven't been tested yet this year, and even in their games, their offense has not looked like the same offense as last year, aside from maybe that Vikings game where it was pretty prolific in only the second half, to be honest. So until they really show me beat a really good team, which even this week is not a really good team. I don't even think if they get to win this week, they've really proved anything to me. But I sent their schedule in the group chat a few days ago. They have Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs, Niners, Cowboys, 5-week span. That's going to show me how good this Eagles team actually is. And if they can go even 3-2 in that span, I think they're actually just as legitimate as last year.
Yeah, I like that take a lot, but there's a reason that you and the rest of the Cowboys Nation have the Eagles game circled on your calendar. Class of the NFC last year, I like the Niners, and I think the Cowboys have a better roster, but until they lose a game, I'm not going to jump off the train. I know they haven't played their best ball yet, but they're too talented. They're putting up a lot of points, and they're still not even playing great. Scary team. Good things going on over there in Philly. This will be a good one, I think, on Sunday, though.
Going to be a great Sunday matchup here, 4 p.m. Eastern. Let's jump into another one here at 4 o'clock. Chiefs and Vikings in Minnesota. The Chiefs are the favorite here at -4. Their money line at -200. Vikings money line at +168, and the total at 52.5. The trends I got here. No team in the NFL is cashing over tickets when on the road at a higher rate since 2021 than the Chiefs. 68.4% there. They're cashing the overs on the road. Also, the Vikings have failed to cover 7 of their past 10 games following an outright win, so not good for the Vikings following a win. Chiefs -4 is the question here. Who wants to get us rolling here? Huff, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll start us out here. I do kind of lean on this Vikings team at home. They got a good win last week. I know it was an 0-3 bowl. They needed that really bad. But kind of like Mackie said, going 2-3 is a hell of a lot different than starting your season 1-4. I know you're going up against a Chiefs team that just didn't look like themselves against the Jets on Sunday Night Football this past week, but I don't know. Minnesota's not an easy place to go in and play. I think a lot of stuff's going on off the field with the Chiefs. I know they've just continued to roll, but I don't know. I kind of like the number with the Vikings here. I think that they're able to keep it close and cover the 4 points. I think we could see a very similar game to what we just saw on Sunday Night Football. Chiefs pick up maybe a 3-point win, but I would not be surprised if the Vikings win this thing at all, Mackie. I don't know which way you're leaning on this one, but I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to take the Vikings here with the points.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings getting their first win under their belt. They've been in all these games. They went head-to-head with the Chargers. Eagles kind of blew them out, but it was a weird situation in that one. This
Eagles little brother, the Vikings, every year.
Yeah, definitely. But this is not easy for the Chiefs, and the Chiefs, I mean, they don't win when they do win football games. They don't win them by much. I mean, Jets by 3. I feel like they haven't been really blowing teams
Bears.
out.
The Bears was the one they just blew out.
Yeah, right.
That's the Bears. That doesn't really count.
Right, it's the Bears. But I don't know. I feel like they haven't been blowing teams out like they used to in the past. Pat Mahomes just seems to be doing enough to get his wins because he's Pat Mahomes' best quarterback in the league. But I could definitely see a really close game here. We know how the Vikings love to play one possession games, so and they lose a lot of them. So, not the money line. Don't like it. Not going to bet against Pat Mahomes, but I do lean the points here for the Vikings.
I also like the over. Just want to get that in there. 52.
Tell you what, I am not taking points against Patrick Mahomes. I do think they could cover, though. Mackey's right that they love not covering spreads for some reason. But these games don't matter for them. We know what they really care about is the postseason. I think I might be taking them minus that 4. I really do. I trust them to have a big game here. That's too low points for Patrick Mahomes and co. You haven't. What was the line you had him at?
Mahomes' career. What would you guess Mahomes' career against the spread record is?
His spreads are high though. That's the thing. Maybe a little over 500.
A little under.
Mackie.
64%.
It's 40, 38, and 2, so he's basically 500.
Yeah, just a little bit over it.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? You guys had the spread at what for this game?
4, even 4.
Oh, I thought someone said 6.5. I like that at 4. Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs at 4 for sure here. Taylor Swift, hopefully she's in the building because they like to win when she's there. So
You're right, Ace. Taylor Swift has been the key to the Chiefs' success lately. So we got to keep an eye on her and see where she's at before we make our bets. But you got to bet smart, you know?
Did you see what Travis Kelce said on New Heights the other day?
That he snuck out.
No, that they're overdoing it.
Yeah, you know what that means, Huff? He's just playing into the game because future entertainment star Travis Kelce, I don't know, past entertainment star, I guess, as well. He knows how to feed into the media. When he says that, there's just going to be even more coverage on it.
I mean, he's doing that for views of his podcast, but like, it's like you knew what you were walking into, dating fucking Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
what did you
and
say
then
that?
announcing it on one of the biggest sports shows in the country. Or his brother
The
did.
#1 sports podcast.
His brother announced it on McAfee.
Yeah, but no, actually, New Heights is the #1 ranked sports podcast, actually.
Alrighty, another 4 p.m. matchup here to wrap up the slate. The New York Jets heading to Denver. The Denver Broncos. The Broncos are the favorite, -1.5. Their money line at -130, and the total at 43.5. Jets money line at +110. Not a game I'm particularly excited about. No trends from me. Ace, why don't you get us rolling?
Definitely not a game I'm going to be betting on. Probably a game that I'm not going to be watching too much of, unless it comes down to the wire late. But there is some really good narratives here. Oh, sorry. But you have Sauce Gardner going up against Sean Payton wearing the bucket hat and whatnot. Everything coming out of training camp. So there's going to be some bad blood between the two sides. And I don't know. Both teams' seasons not looking as they expected them to. And I don't think Zach Wilson really showed me much in the primetime last week. He had one good drive, in my opinion. I like an under here, if anything, but this is going to be a boring game, in my opinion.
Nathaniel Hackett against Sean Payton. Well, it's not really Nathaniel Hackett, but you know what I mean. Yeah, definitely a lot of bad blood here. Shit talking before the season started. I'm sure they both had this game marked on their calendar, but I didn't think they'd both be 1-3 going into it. But kind of a shitty game. I think let's see Zach Wilson ball out again. Maybe he could do it. Give me the Jets +1.5. Give me their money line.
You're definitely not betting on that game on your card, though.
No. We're talking just.
Yeah, just for the sake of it. I don't think he lives up to the expectations. If anything, I think Russ has a better day than him. He has way better options too. I know Garrett Wilson's great, but the rest of that side, I like the weapons on the Denver side. One fantasy tidbit for you. What's his name? Jaleel McLaughlin, I think maybe his name is, the running back for the Broncos. If Williams is expected to miss time, he looked pretty good last week. I think he was like a 6th-round rookie, and had a good day. So expect for him to be involved in the offense a bit more.
Yeah, I kind of like the Broncos to get the job done here. Bias aside,
Big
I'm just
surprise.
surprise. I'm just not buying what I think Zach Wilson won his Super Bowl last week covering a spread on Sunday Night Football. The Broncos had a big comeback against a really shitty team. They needed that win. I just think Mile High is not an easy place to go into and play. I think Russ has a pretty decent game, pretty average game, enough to get the job done. A 1.5 point spread. I'll take the home favorite in Mile High every time. Give me the Broncos money line.
Are you going to think about carding this off?
I probably will.
I actually like the Broncos too here. I really do.
Huff, what would have to happen to the Broncos for you to just hate them?
Dude,
Russell Wilson would have to be cut.
Believe me, I'm not really even a fan of them that much. I don't think Zach Wilson can do that 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know. I just don't.
And I don't think
the Broncos
he's even going to put up points.
I don't think he's going to have to at all. I think that Jets team is also just. I think it's way more rounded than this Broncos team. They're more fit for winning. They're more built for winning. Zach Wilson just needs to play half the game as Russell Wilson, and I think they'll win.
I think there's too many weapons on the Broncos side of the ball for Sauce Gardner to cover.
Too many mid weapons. Jerry Jeudy's just not.
I like Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims.
Cortland Sutton, he's probably going to be shadowing him, I'm assuming. But I mean,
yeah, I'd agree.
I don't think they have names. I don't really think they have elite
big
receivers.
names. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I kind of like the Broncos here though. I really do. Yeah, no more Randy Gregory though, so maybe Justin Simmons will have to carry the load.
I also just think Sean Payton's having the most clown season ever, and it's just this is a cherry on top is losing. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine the memes or gifs that Sauce Gardner's going to have waving by to him when they knock him out of playoff contention at 1-4 early on.
If the Broncos can win this game, though, maybe they can turn their season around. It's 2 straight wins. Obviously, they snuck by last week. Probably shouldn't have gotten a win, but it doesn't matter how they got the win. They got the W. And I don't know how their schedule looks coming up, but if they can string along a few games, Russell Wilson can get some confidence in that offense, and maybe they can make a push to a 500 record or something.
Meanwhile, on the other side, if Zach Wilson has another game, people will buy in heavy, and if he can win this game, they might have the Jets back into the playoff mix. So a lot of there's a lot. We're gonna have to recap this one because whatever comes out of this is gonna be pretty impactful.
I already have Jets fans getting hope, dude. They're like, I don't know, dude. Jets could make the playoffs. I'm like, not with Zach Wilson. No.
You lost the game, Zach Wilson.
They lost. They literally lost the game.
He fumbled the game away.
They just needed the tiniest bit of hope, and they literally just latch on. And they probably have Super Bowl hope
Mackie,
now,
you
too.
had the craziest cashing of all bets last week on that Sunday night game, but I think you bought in. You bought in early, but you bought into them having hope in that game when he had that one drive, and that one drive was elite. But besides that, he didn't show me anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just one drive where he was good. He was steady for a few drives, but those last few drives were definitely old Zach Wilson, and that's what I was kind of saying was that it wasn't even a bounce back game. It was just sheds of light where he can maybe break through. Now we've seen it. We've seen that he could do it. Back shoulder passes in the end zone. He can do it. It's just will he?
We knew that the talent was there, though. We really did. That's what made him jump up the draft boards in the combine. But it's a lot more than just skill in the NFL.
Mackie, back to what you were saying about the Broncos next couple games. They fucking need to win this one because they go to Kansas City for Thursday Night Football Week 6, then home against the Packers, home against the Chiefs. So they get the Chiefs twice in 3 weeks, and then to Buffalo. Tough 4 weeks stretch there.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think. See that?
No, I don't think this team's gonna be anything, but I think they can win this week.
No,
it's
so
a week by week thing.
Here's the thing. I thought if their schedule was kind of light looking forward, that they would look at it and be like, all right, we just need to get this one out. We're sitting 2-3. Yeah. Maybe we can win the next few games. I think they're already looking ahead and they're like, we're fucked regardless if we win this game or not, because you're probably losing at least 3 out of 4 of those next 4 games. Actually playing the Chiefs twice in 3 weeks.
I think they'd cover one. They could be pesky.
They could
Mackie,
upset, dude.
It's
They
Patrick
could.
Mahomes. Don't forget who it is.
I mean, we've seen crazier shit happen in the NFL. There's still professional athletes.
Like I said, Mile High, not an easy place to play.
Not at all.
Yeah, not even for those fucking Broncos.
Exactly. Not for anyone.
Alrighty, that's going to wrap up all we got in the 4 p.m. slate. Let's jump into this Sunday Night Football, 8 p.m. Week 5 matchup. Dallas Cowboys heading to San Francisco to visit the 49ers. 49ers are the favorite here, 3.5 points for them. Their money line minus 186. The Cowboys money line at plus 156, and the total at an even 45. The trends I got here. 49ers have won 15 straight up as the favorite. 49ers 12-3 against the spread in their last 15 games and have covered 9 straight at home. Cowboys 9-2 against the spread in their past 11 in October, and the under is 7-2 in Dallas's last 7 games as the underdog, or last 9 games the underdog, excuse me. Mackie, get us rolling here on this one. Sunday Night Football, your boys in it, coming off our week in Dallas. Got to be feeling good. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm definitely super pumped for this game. It's probably the most anticipated game to this point in the season. I mean, these two teams, this is a real big test for Dallas because everyone knows who the 49ers are. Definitely one of the best 2 teams in the league, in my opinion. Probably the best team in the league. But I mean, Dallas, they've shown signs of greatness, but they lost to the Cardinals 2 weeks ago. So we got to see which team comes out. This is a huge game. They've knocked us out of the playoffs the last 2 years. If we can even put up a fight, if we can make this one close, I just got to see something out of them. I mean, we lay eggs against really good teams. We've done it year in and year out, even when we've had a good regular season. They definitely got to go toe to toe with this Niners team. The defense has to step up big time. Dak needs to just play his game. He's good enough to do it. We just got to see it happen. Got to contain Christian McCaffrey. I lean Cowboys plus 3.5. I lean the points in this game for sure. But I don't know. It's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. I've been excited for this matchup for some time. 2 of the powerhouses of the NFC, 2 of the top 3. And it's over in San Francisco, so a much tougher task for Dallas this week. We'll get to see
prime time helps, though.
And we got to remember, this is a rematch of last year. This is who knocked the Cowboys out of the playoffs. It was a very tight game.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. So they're going to be gunning for him, but those 49ers are firing on all cylinders. They got even better with their offseason additions all around the board. Most sound, complete team in the league. You're going to have to get pressure onto Brock Purdy, which isn't easy to do. And McCaffrey, you think he extends that touchdown streak? He's still at minus 215 against a great Cowboys defense to get in the end zone. And I think he does again. I'm going to buy that 0.5 point for the peace of mind. You know, you hear me say that a lot. Always give me that 0.5 point. But I'm going to take the Niners minus 3. Literally, I've taken them on the card 4 weeks in a row. Spread, they're 3-0-1. So why would I stop now? We're going with the Niners minus 3 here.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the Niners at minus 3. It's probably a good opportunity, but against my Cowboys, I got to roll with the Cowboys here.
You don't see Cowboys at plus much either. So both sides of the coin, whichever side you're backing, is a good one to have.
That's what I'm saying. This team that we just saw last week, I know the Niners and the Patriots aren't really on the same playing field, but seeing the Cowboys at a plus 156, and you might even be able to, I feel like it's going to go to 4. If I can get the pick Cowboys at plus 4, I'll probably lean on Dallas just for getting the plus points in a good game with two elite teams in this with great defenses. I'd like to get the points, not take them away. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think Dallas might end up getting the win. It would not surprise me at all if this is where we see Purdy lose his first regular season game. But I don't know. I don't really have an official play on this one either way. I lean Dallas just because you get the nice number with it. But I don't know. I definitely could see myself be on the 49ers if it goes back to 3. Like Ace said, I definitely like that number more. But I don't know. I like the value on this really good Cowboys team at plus 160 as an underdog on Sunday Night Football.
The winner of this game could be number 1 in the power rankings come this week. Niners been holding it down for much of the year. I know we're going to talk about this game heavily on Sunday, so make sure to tune in to that podcast. Mackie and I will be heated in it. Mackie, jump in with your Cowboys one more time before we get to the Monday night game.
Yeah, the only thing else I have to say is when that offensive line is healthy, I mean the Cowboys are playing incredible. Obviously, Biadasz and Zach Martin were out for that Cardinals game. We know what kind of game that was. Cowboys laid an egg, but I mean when that offensive line is healthy, this Cowboys team has played pretty incredible. So, 2 powerhouses going at it, going to be a hell of a game.
the trenches will be great to watch in that one with your great O-line versus that one of the most ferocious D-lines I've seen in my life in the NFL. So that'll be a fun game to watch. Great Sunday night football game. Shout out the schedulers.
Terrific Sunday night football game. Definitely want to get geared up for that one with our Sunday live stream, like Ace said. Make sure to tune in for that one. Time for the Monday night football game. Packers at Raiders. Heading into Las Vegas. The Packers are the favorite here, -1. Their money line, -116. Raiders money line, -102. In the total at 44.5. Trends I got here. Packers just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games as the favorite. Raiders are 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games played on a Monday. Let's jump right into this one here in Las Vegas. Huff, what do you think?
Yeah, this is going to be a good Monday Night Football game. Two classic franchises, the Raiders and the Packers. So definitely a game I am looking forward to. I hope Jimmy G plays because I'm definitely leaning on the Raiders in this game. I think they could definitely pick up a win here in a pick'em spot. I've been big on these Packers, but Vegas, tough place to play. Monday Night Football. The lights are bright for Jordan Love there. I'm still big on him in this Packers team. Just in this specific spot, I think I like the Raiders to squeak out a home win.
Yeah, I'm different on you than for the season on Green Bay, but I do kind of like them in this spot. I mean, they played last Thursday. They're getting an 11-day rest. They're playing Monday night. Vegas hasn't been steady. That defense has been slow. This is a good game for Jordan Love to just be able to do his thing. He did it the first 2-3 weeks, so pretty rough game last week against the Lions, but I like for him to do his thing. Jimmy G, is he questionable?
He's questionable right now. I'd only take the Raiders if he plays.
Yeah, that's tough right there. But I like this. I think this Packers team is more sound than I thought they were, and they should be able to get it done here in Las Vegas. This Vegas team doesn't really impress me very much.
I think this is actually going to be a really good Monday Night Football game. Two solid teams, middle of the pack here. I'm siding with the Packers here, kind of like Huff is. I'm high on this team. I think Jones and Dillon really get back after it. They've been stymied last week, and now they're playing that weak Raiders defense here. I expect them both, at least Jones, to get in the end zone. But then again, they like to bring Dillon in on the goal line. But Jalen Reed stepped up last week. You have Christian Watson back in the fold. This Packers team's good, and that defense is really good. So whoever it is, Aiden O'Connell or Jimmy Garoppolo, they're going to be throwing picks, I think, to that defense. A lot of pressure coming at them. Josh Jacobs is going to have a tough day sledding, and I don't even know if Devontae Adams likes playing there anymore. I know he doesn't, actually. So I don't see much for this team. Only thing is you got to contain Max Crosby on the other side for the Raiders. Give me the Packers money line, though, for sure. Even though in the last primetime game they fucked us over, I'm going to ride it again.
Monday Night Football here in Week 5. Going to be a great Week 5. The Browns, the Chargers, the Seahawks, and the Bucks with byes this week. So lots to look forward to going into Week 6 next week. That's all we got for Week 5. Make sure to tune into our live stream on Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, everywhere, as we review the top 5 games of the day. Let's jump into some college football here. Some games that we want to review this week. First up, going at number 12, Oklahoma at number 3, Texas. Texas is the favorite here. 6.5 points for them. Total at 60.5. What do you guys think about this one?
This is Texas, Oklahoma this week? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's the Red River.
Where is
Robbery.
it? In Texas?
No, that's usually a mutual site. Let me see. Let me look. Cotton Bowl.
That
So
doesn't.
it's in Texas. It's in Texas, but it's not at Texas.
Oh, damn! I didn't know they always play at a mutual site. This is gonna be a really good game. I really like Dylan Gabriel. Kind of flies under the radar. I feel like ever since Oklahoma lost. Who did?
He was at UCF. Are you talking a loss at Oklahoma?
No, I'm talking about when they lost Caleb Williams and who's the fucking coach at USC with them? Lincoln Riley.
Oh.
Yeah. Ever since they've kind of left, I feel like this team's kind of flown under the radar. Even though they're ranked 12th, they don't really get talked about as much. But this Texas team is so good. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think Texas definitely comes out on top. I think that Texas finds their way into the college football playoff this year, and they definitely need this win. Yeah, give me Texas. Twins win. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, that's big.
Alrighty, another game here that we want to talk about. Number 3 LSU at number 21 Missouri. LSU the favorite here.
23 LSU.
What'd I say?
3.
I said 23, I think.
Must have muted. I didn't hear the 20 part.
All right, let me restart. Another game that we want to talk about here in the college football world. Number 23 LSU at number 21 Missouri. LSU is the favorite here. Pretty high total at 64.5. What do you guys got?
I don't really have a play on much of these spreads here yet because it's kind of hard going into the weekend. I like to see where the money goes. So, but I definitely lean on Ole Miss at home here, but no official play yet.
Wasn't it LSU Missouri?
Oh,
Yeah.
Missouri. Fuck, I read that wrong. I don't know. I kind of still like Missouri at home. I'm not big on this LSU team.
I
did think
definitely
this
lean
was Ole Miss,
LSU. I still think Jaden Daniels is top 5 quarterback in college football. And Missouri doesn't really. Missouri got that big win against Kansas State earlier in the season, but this LSU defense is just so bad. Ole Miss pissed all over them last week. Jaden Daniels still played his game, but I just don't think that this Missouri team has the offensive firepower that Ole Miss does. So Jaden Daniels is just gonna be able to do enough and get a win for LSU. But I mean LSU could definitely drop this game. They drop all these close ones.
Alrighty, another one that we're looking at here. Alabama and Texas A&M, another tight matchup here.
Yeah, I actually like Texas A&M in this spot. I think Texas A&M puts up a fight every week. They play really good football every week. They've been winning games, kind of covering spreads and everything. And this Alabama team obviously is not who they've always been. You got to go into Texas A&M. I think they have all the momentum going into this game, and I think that they can definitely pull it out. It's going to be. I think it's under the lights too. I think it's a night game. I could be wrong about that though.
It's 3:30. It's 3:30.
Damn. I think it would.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would help. That would help out A&M in my opinion
for
as well.
sure. I still like. I still like A&M though.
Yeah, I'd probably lean A&M. Like I said, it's hard to say right now on a Wednesday with these plays, but I'd probably lean on A&M.
Alrighty, Kentucky and Georgia here. Number 1 Georgia Kentucky heading to number 1 Georgia. Huge spread here at 14.5. What do you guys think?
I like Kentucky with the points. I don't have much else to say. I just think Georgia slips up.
I just think this Georgia team isn't as good as we thought they were. They're not the number 1 team in the country, in my opinion. I don't think Michigan is number 2 either. Both these teams really haven't been playing dominant football, haven't had a hard game on their schedule yet. Georgia almost choked up against South Carolina, which is not a very good football team at all. So, yeah, I definitely like Kentucky here, but 14.5 is just a lot for this Georgia team.
Alrighty, final game here. College football. Notre Dame, number 10 at number 25, Louisville. 6.5 points, the spread, 54.5 the total. Anything good on this one?
Yeah, I like Notre Dame. Notre Dame's pretty sick this year.
Yeah, I'd probably lean Notre Dame as well.
Alrighty, let's shift our focus over to the NHL here. The next time we record, the NHL season will be officially underway. Season starts Tuesday, October 10th. I'm excited for the first game there for us, the Penguins and the Blackhawks. Hopefully Bedard playing here against Crosby. Why don't we take a look at some Stanley Cup odds to get us started here. The top 6 here go as followed. The Avalanche are the league favorite at plus 850. Hurricanes behind them at plus 900. Devils at plus 1100. Maple Leafs at plus 1100. Oilers at plus 1100. And the Stars at plus 1300. Some notable ones. The Bruins at plus 1700. The Rangers at 1700. And the Penguins at 2200. So going to be an interesting season coming in, but I'm curious, do you guys have any value, good plays for the Stanley Cup winner coming into this season?
Mackie, who do you like out of the top 5? Who would you go with here?
I don't know. I don't really. I like the Hurricanes, dude, but I can't.
I was gonna say I just don't like the value on them because they suck in the playoffs. So I probably can't do it with the Hurricanes.
Stacked.
And the thing that scares me with the Devils is how good the division is. So I don't know. Okay, I'd probably lean Devils.
Devils are a few
Leafs.
years out, I think.
Yeah, that's how. I don't know. That division's so tough. I'd probably go Leafs and then a value play. I kind of like the Kings at 20-1.
Nah, dude, I can't. Every year, so like everyone wants to get on them. 2 years ago, they put up a fight. Last year, they shit the bed, man.
Well, I mean, they got the Oilers. That was the one year the Oilers decided to maybe do something, and then they blew it to my
you
Vegas
just said
Knights.
my pick there. The 9-1 Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid's winning a Stanley Cup in our lifetime. I think
I don't think he is.
I like the value to do it this year. You don't think he's going to win a Stanley Cup ever?
Not in Edmonton. Not
in
in Edmonton.
I like that team with those odds. Another long shot play I like, 16-1 on the Dallas Stars. I think they have a great roster top to bottom. I think that the goalie's going to step up more so in the playoffs. Love everything they got going on there. Great mix of youth and veteran presence. Deep lineup there down in Dallas. And they always find themselves in these game sevens in the playoffs. So one will end up on their side. Otter's too good to play like he did last year. Come down the stretch, 16-1. Love those odds. Edmonton Oilers 9-1. But I'll ride with the Stars. I'll throw on it right now.
Going to be an interesting season here. I'm not too sure who I like, but those Hurricanes are nasty. Devils a few years out, like you guys said. Oilers, I don't think they're going to make it happen. I don't think the Avs are going to make it happen again. I mean, Vegas is always pesky. I think it's going to be a fun year. I'm excited for it. We're just days away. Let's jump into, do you guys want to jump into the conferences?
Let me see what odds we have listed here. I don't know where the fuck
I just threw 20 on both the Stars and then the Oilers.
Just because you said that?
Yeah.
Let me see here.
That's 20-320 on the Stars, though.
See,
that's a good.
I was gonna say, I think you can get better value in the Eastern Conference with some of these teams to win rather than taking them to win outright. Yeah, like I was gonna say, like you can get the Lightning at plus 750 to win the Eastern Conference. That's not terrible. And a team that still has all their guys there should still be
the Buffalo
have
Sabres?
Everyone there.
They're not gonna do it, but what are their odds?
What are their? I was gonna say, I thought I saw them. They're pretty far. 18-1 to win the East.
I have 20-1.
Yeah, so that's why, like we always say, futures, you got to look at different books because there's some of them when you get down there, like what do you have, for example, like just say Detroit.
35-1.
So you have 38. So it's like if you're throwing some significant money on that, that's a lot of money in an odds difference. You know what I mean?
When you get towards the bottom of the teams, the lines are crazy. You got a line shop there. You can get like a 1,000-point difference on some books.
I was gonna say you can get some team that's plus 1,200 on one book to like. Not even that low. Like I'm saying, like plus 2,500, and you can get like a plus 3,500 on another book.
Right.
Carolina Hurricanes to win the East. I do like that bet at plus 425. It's a regular season award too, so they could definitely take that one. We know how they shit the bed come playoff time. Toronto Maple Leafs with adding Bertuzzi and how good they've been of late.
Yeah, that would be my pick. I think you said this year you think the Oilers can do it. I'm gonna buy into the Leafs hype probably. I think if I had to pick one of these top teams, that's probably who I'd go with. 6-1 for them to win the East. I do like that.
Yeah, and then the Oilers out west, I think they can get the job done there. I like the Oilers and the Stars both for the Cup and the conference. Good odds on both. And we know how electric both those teams are year in and year out. So much talent and depth. We'll get some in-depth coverage going as these games start and we get some highlights rolling. But a lot of speculation coming into the year. We got to see who cracks these lineups still. NHL, they released those lineups really late on who's actually on the team. So excited to see my Bruins bounce back. A lot less hype going in this year, so that might do better for them. We'll see. It's going to be an exciting year, though. Hockey's back. I was watching some playoff hockey, some overtime hockey in the preseason the other day. Got me all hyped up, so need a Bruins game ASAP. Hopefully I can get to that home opener.
Good stuff. Yes, NHL season just days away. I know we're all really excited for it. I know I'm ready to get it started and get rolling into that. It's a great time of the year with NBA, NHL, and NFL all kind of converging on each other. Alrighty, into the MLB here. The MLB playoffs have officially begun. Yesterday, we saw the Rangers, Twins, Diamondbacks, and Phillies all pick up Game 1 victories in their respective series. Who do you guys have all advancing out of the wild card round here? These are 3-game series, I believe, or...
Yeah, we just saw the Rangers and Twins get the wrap up their series, so the Rangers and Twins are moving on. Diamondbacks down 2-0 right now as we're recording to Milwaukee, and then the Phillies game tonight. So I actually like the Brewers to end up coming out of this series, and as well as I like Philly to wrap things up tonight. So I think the Brewers are actually the only one that are going to get out and force a Game 3 and potentially get out of their series after starting down 0-1.
Huff, I agree with you completely. That Phillies team, I fucking love the Marlins. They're one of my favorite teams to go see live, but they're not beating the Philadelphia Phillies. They're the only legit wild card team, in my opinion, to make a run for the World Series. I guess you could say the Rangers because of all that talent and the way they've been scoring. But I agree with you that the Brewers and Diamondbacks are going to 3 games. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks for the value. I like their pitching matchup when it gets to a Game 3 as well. But
will it be Gallen? Did he go today?
He's going today.
So
It'll be Merrill
It'll be Merrill Kelly.
Merrill Kelly.
The fact Game 3. And I like that offense too, but these Phillies, they're going to close out tonight, and they're going to make a run for the World Series again. Book it. I've been on them all year. Great value. You can still buy in.
I think
How about
the
that?
Phillies. Go
Go ahead, Mackie.
You can go.
I was gonna say, how about that 2-game performance for the Twins? Lopez goes 5 2/3 yesterday with 1 earned run, and then Sonny Gray goes 5 with none, and then the bullpen just cleans it up.
Ace.
Their bullpen has been what sells on them all
They're-
season, and their bullpen was able to hold it down.
Yeah,
They
right?
have
That's
2
good.
aces. They just ripped them. Twins played crazy baseball. I had the Twins winning the series. I also had the Rays winning the series, which the Rangers just absolutely ran them. So this Rangers team could be dangerous. They played really good baseball towards the end
They
of the season.
scored.
We saw what they did all season. They can get that pitching going. I know they have Scherzer out for the season. And,
Evaldi
they
in the
had to-
playoffs is lights out, though.
Yeah, Montgomery pitched
Montgomery
7
looked
to
good,
shutout
too,
yesterday.
yesterday,
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
great pickup there.
crazy.
I'm saying that's something you can always expect is a great start from Nathan Evaldi in the playoffs. But that offense, we saw when they were hot during this year. Remember when they were at that stretch where they were a top 3 team in our power rankings? When they're hot, they can hit, and they can put up double-digit crooked numbers anytime they want, which is scary. Are we going to get Rangers and Astros next round, though?
I don't think so.
Are we
Who
gonna,
would have to?
if
who
we're
would have to
getting
win
Twins
for
and
that to
Astros,
happen?
I'm hammering the Astros.
Nah, yeah, we're getting
Yeah,
Twins
well,
Astros.
too.
We are.
Huff, let's go. Let's go. We've been on those Astros with the futures all year long, and now they get the Minnesota Twins in the second round.
to go to the ALCS.
Look at that.
Oh
Let's
my
look-
God.
Let's look at that Texas Rangers and Baltimore Orioles series, though. What do you guys
I
think
like
about
the
that
Rangers,
one?
I think.
I think so, too. I mean, this Orioles team, we've been high on them all year. They played great baseball for 162 games, but, I mean, the postseason's a different animal. And I think
I
this
don't know
Texas,
if I have series prices yet for the next
No, they
round.
won't be out yet. They just concluded today. But
there's a line on game 1. Orioles are minus
Orioles
130.
favorited. Yeah.
but jumping over to the Western side,
I don't
Mac,
know, dude.
you
I
agree
kinda
with-
have
Baltimore.
series odds for Orioles Rangers.
Let's hear it.
What is it?
Orioles Rangers are minus 110 apiece.
I
Uh,
knew it. I
Astros
saw that.
Twins are Astros minus 122. Twins plus 100.
I love the Astros and I like
That's
the
a
Orioles.
Crazy
I love the
line.
Astros, bro. I love the Astros.
I'm rolling with the Twinnies. I hate the Astros. Fuck the Astros.
I thought you were
I
a
like
Mets
this
fan.
Twins
Why do you
team a
care
lot.
about the
I actually
Astros?
like this Twins team a lot.
I think they're
Good.
homosexual. Sorry, Jesse. You can cut that out.
You just bleep it.
Yeah, I
It'd be
can
funny
just
if you
bleep.
just bleep it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nobody will ever know what I said.
Yeah,
they have to
cheat.
guess.
They cheat
They're gonna-
though.
They're
They
gonna
cheat,
guess faggot.
but
They can
Mackie-
guess all they want, but if it doesn't,
Yeah, they can guess
isn't
all they want.
explicit.
Mackie, if anyone asks you, you just said they're stupid.
Yeah.
I said another word
Yeah.
for stupid.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
but
be like, you know,
Huff,
don't-
I'm loving
don't
that
fucking worry about
Astros
it.
line. That's nuts. Do we buy back in?
I might have to.
I feel like it should be Astros like minus 145, minus 150. I think it's a crazy line.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's-
sketchy if you ask me. Right? Give me
Yeah, but
Twins
I
money
gotta-
line. Give me
I'm
Sonny
biting
Gray.
the cheese on that one.
Oh, Huff.
Dude, the Astros are too good at home.
They
Astros
really are.
suck, dude. They haven't been
And
playing
in the
good baseball at
playoffs.
all.
And in the playoffs.
I wanna
On the
see
other
that team
side, though,
crash and burn.
Mackie, you didn't say this though. Who do you think comes out of that Brewers Diamondback series? I think it goes 3 as well. I know they're up earlier here, but
Yeah, no, I actually did. Well, I liked Zach Gallen. I thought it was going to be a 1-0 game, Diamondbacks through 5, and then I thought Zach Gallen was going to come out, and I thought the Brewers were actually going to end up winning this game. But I mean, going into Game 3, Merrill Kelly is a dog, and I can't even tell you who's going to go for the Brewers. Is it going to be that Rio guy, whatever his name is?
Colin Ray. Ria?
Yeah, is that his name? Right.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean that just favors the Diamondbacks heavy if they can get their bats going. I mean, Corbin Carroll leads that offense, 2-run shot last
Cattell
night.
Marte.
Yeah, I mean that if that offense can get going, I do like the Diamondbacks with the value in that series.
Me too. Give me the Diamondbacks here. We've been high on them all year long. I think they might even be able to come back in Game 2 tonight, but we'll have to see how that pans out. But this will be fun to watch
I mean-
as we go down the stretch.
If you start fat in Game 1 and you end up winning it, I mean you better win the
That
series.
was solid all year, though. Don't let that go undermine.
Yeah, but I mean it's a clear 1 and 2, and he's 3.
I think it's just
So
the
I'm
way it
saying
lined
if
up
you're
just so
able
they
to-
could- it's just the way it lined up just because that's how they were able to get in, right?
No, that was definitely a business decision.
You think?
100%.
I like it, yeah. Roll Diamondbacks, though. I want to see them go on to the next round.
Alrighty, good stuff there, boys. Do you want to run through here? Let's run through some World Series odds here real quick. The Braves are leading the trials at plus 260, Astros at plus 450, Dodgers plus 470, Orioles are plus 700, Twins plus 800, Rangers plus 900, Phillies plus 1,000, Diamondbacks plus 2,300, Brewers plus 2,400, and finish it off, Miami Marlins plus 7,500.
I'll keep it quick. I like the Braves to win it all. The Astros have a decent number, but the best price is the Phillies 10-1.
And I was on it a long time. I've been saying it all year, Huff. That's a plus 1,000 right now. That's a good team, and they're getting hot at the right time. Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler. They brought in that guy from Lorenzen, the righty from Detroit. Then they have Bryce Harper in the playoffs. They have Trey Turner, and then the rest of the lineup's been playing well. Young guys like Stott stepping up to the plate. But I just think there's so much star power. This is not who you want to see if you're a powerhouse destined for a World Series run.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna get matched up against either the Dodgers or the Braves next series, and I don't see any team getting past either of them this year. I know we've said that year in and year out, but especially the Braves. I mean, you get that team right now, and you're kind of drawing dead in my opinion. Dodgers are playing just as good as baseball as them in the past few weeks, if not better. So I mean, I think it's kind of inevitable that we end up with Dodgers Braves in the NLCS, but if there is going to be anyone to upset them, it is going to be those Phillies.
I think a good bet might be whoever doesn't play the Phillies in the second round, you take them to win the World Series right there.
It'll be the Braves.
Yes.
Phillies will play the Dodgers.
So then you take the Braves right then. That wouldn't be a bad play in my opinion.
Phillies, Braves, NLCS though would be pretty crazy too.
Rivals, division rivals. But those Dodgers, you can't count them out. They have the most talent besides they're good.
Nah, Braves got the most talent.
That's what I meant, not the Astros. I meant to say Atlanta. Yeah. But
I agree.
Yeah, you can't count out the Dodgers. Dodgers, Braves, Astros, three of the scariest teams you can see on your schedule. Value in the Phillies and Rangers just for their star power.
I mean, definitely at least the two best teams in the league. You got to say Phillies. I think Philly would be able to run it out in the AL this year.
They started slow.
Alrighty, boys. I think that's going to wrap up everything we got this week here. NFL Week 5, just days away from the NHL and NBA regular seasons. Not much else for me to add. Anything else, boys?
Yeah, that's going to do it for me. I think it's going to do it for everyone. Good episode. Lots of playoff baseball going on. Like we said, next time we talk, NHL hockey is going to be on. Then we know NBA season's right around the corner, even though I always say the NBA doesn't start until Christmas. But we're going to get some good hockey action and some playoff baseball for the next couple of weeks. NFL, obviously, Week 5 coming up Thursday night this week. Big college football slate this week to look forward to. Lots going on in the sports world. October's finally here. The second, if not the best sports month in the world. So we finally made it. Other than that, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you tune in for the live stream on Sunday. Other than that, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, wherever, the whole 9 yards. Other than that, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Huff. Only thing I want to add in there is come next week, you'll still see me leading the card in the NFL. So let's keep eating, boys. Get back in the green. Need an all plus this week.